And we are live.
Yay,
it is Hall of Fame time.
Yes, this is my favorite part of the day. It's a party. It's a celebration. This week here inside of the Land Profit Generator community, we are inducting another set of, amazing land flippers that are joining the ranks of the top 1%, people that I would partner with, deals that I would go into any crazy future with. And I'm just so excited. I also want to congratulate several of you that have already joined us, and taken the leap of faith, made the jump, and are part of our Land Profit coaching program. And I know that you guys wanted, some acknowledgement. Stephen Garfinkel, Ingo, Douglas, David, Edith. Yeah. Thank you so much. We can't wait to start working Edith alongside you. Yeah. It's a 12-month journey together, and we're going to bring the tools, the strategy, the accountability, the implementation support to really surround you with 360-degree support, and we're just super excited. So for those of you that are new, we're Michelle and Jack Bosch. We're the co-creators of the Land Profit Generator method, and we have also instituted a Hall of Fame, the Land Profit Generator Hall of Fame. The Land Profit Generator Hall of Fame is basically an award that is being given to some of our most successful coaching students. And we have had a backlog as a result of COVID and not being able to have in-person events. So we're doing these, we picked the literally several, like 20, 30 possibilities.
We almost have 50 people that are in the candidate right now for the Hall of Fame. We have a huge backlog because we used to, as Michelle said, always induct the Hall of Fame members only at our live events. And then the last live event that we've done in January, I think we had like an entire stage full of of students that have done so well that they got inducted in the Hall of Fame. And now we haven't been able to get people into the Hall of Fame because we haven't done any live events. So we have said no more of that. Let's get going. And today's Hall of Fame inductees are, drum roll, right? You go ahead, you announce them, right?
Sarah and Tyson Horn. Welcome,
guys.
Welcome, guys. We are super excited to have you here, and I'll let you drive.
All right, I'll drive a little. You drive a little bit. We all drive. You guys drive. Welcome. Congratulations. Welcome. Congratulations to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're super excited.
We're very honored.
Right. Very, very cool. Very excited to have this. As I mentioned, I think yesterday also when we did a Hall of Fame induction, we already typically I would now on stage hand you this big Hall of Fame award, but we have sent them to you already ahead of time. There's the Hall of Fame award.
The camera's kind of weird.
Say your names.
Hold it up there close.
Sarah.
Class of 2020. So whenever
right.
Yeah, we can see it. Awesome.
See it, yes. All right, cool.
I hope it finds a nice spot on the wall in your office or so.
Yeah,
home already.
And we're
right by our vision board.
Awesome. Because while so many people have seen this year being a difficult year, a challenging year, what we have seen in the land space and inside of this community is breakthrough years, just like you guys are having. So the fact that it said their class of 2020, for many people 2020 is going to be memorable for very different reasons, and for you guys it's going to be memorable for $80,000 of cash injections in your bank account,
plus cash flow from seller financing deals.
Plus cash flow from seller financing deals. So we're excited about that.
And we'll talk about that in a moment. But first of all, guys, give us a little bit of an introduction. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your journey, how you came to land flipping, what brought you there, and just tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sarah.
You want me to start?
Yep.
So there's a lot. I feel first like our connection to and the process, the journey that brought us to the Land Profit Generator family is so divinely inspired. It's incredible. Like I could get emotional because it is amazing. So I've been very involved in networking I thought at one point I wanted to open up my own yoga studio, and we've always had this dream that we wanted to be able to partner with one another and bring home Tyson from, his day job. And this business, our THS Freedom Properties, we started an LLC back in, it was 2009, and Tyson can share, he's always wanted to do real estate, and it just kind of sat, and now we're doing it. It's so incredible. It's just super, super exciting. So anyway, we, I through the years had done networking, and I still receive, a very small compared to what we're doing with Land Profit Generator, and the Maximizer. It didn't mesh with what my schedule as a mom, to just, I think the bigger picture goals, right? We were talking before we went live, just our vision board and just those really big dreams that, everybody has.
And I can totally relate to that, because we had, times where, we were putting a lot of time and effort into stuff, and the paydays definitely did not reflect that.
Right.
Everything we tried before this, we felt like the more success we had, the less time we had, right? And this has kind of been the opposite. As we've been a part of the coaching program and learned how to automate the business more, it's been just the opposite. The more success we have, the more time we have also. And that's just been amazing to be a part of that and see that change in our lives. Thank you, Michelle and Jack, you guys for sharing this. We are so appreciative.
Thank you for trusting, and taking a leap of faith and banking on yourself, and not sitting on the sidelines, and just willing to go all in. Like I was saying earlier, every brave decision that we make, it leaves an imprint in the universe, you know what I mean? And it gives permission to others to also do the same. So thank you so much for giving it your all, because it's also the result of your hard work. And now there's
following
others.
the advice.
Yeah,
and what we ask you to do.
Yeah.
What a novel concept, right? You actually follow the advice and it works. Yay!
It does work.
All right, so that's fantastic. So great. So let's. I'm excited. So what was your professions before, or you still are? Like you said, Tyson. Your job is or was outside of this?
I've always been an outside salesperson, mostly for manufacturing facilities or a manufacturer of some type of product.
Okay.
Everything from the electrical, industrial world to, plastic injection molding, selling to, different businesses and helping people, develop products.
So nothing to do with real estate.
Nothing to do with real estate. No. I actually tried to get my real estate license once, and I was reminded how horrible I am at taking tests and how much I hated studying. But I've always been drawn to real estate, and that's what your program has provided is, what? I don't need a real estate license. In fact, I love the fact that I don't have one, because, now when we deal with realtors, it's like, you guys have to abide by these rules that just are awful, and we don't have to deal with that, because we're investors, and it's awesome.
Having said that, we have a lot of investors, we have a lot of students that are real estate, have a real estate license. I have a real estate license. All you really need to do is disclose it, and then you're just fine. But yes, active people that actively do real estate, and on the other side, representing perhaps the buyer, so they have to jump through a few hoops. But as an investor yourself, you just have to disclose it that you have one, or whether or not that you have one. So great. So you guys came from this background that is not real estate. Sarah, you don't have a real estate background either, right?
No, my college degree is in exercise physiology. I was a trainer. I did corporate wellness for big companies before I had kids. And then I found yoga, which I thought for a long time I wanted to open up a studio, but it just didn't make sense. The time and the effort and the expense never matched. It never made sense as far as our goals and our dreams.
And by the way, your yoga studio would have been shut down for half of the year this year.
Exactly, right? So Yeah.
So instead, you guys jumped into real estate. You have done 10 deals, $80,000. When did you start coaching?
In July.
In July of this year. So 10 deals. You had a couple of deals prior to 2-3 deals prior to that, but then so basically 7 or 8 deals since you're in coaching since July. And
you had already done deals, but then you decided to still go for coaching. And they were not little deals. One of them was over 24,000. But why did you decide to go to coaching?
Go for it.
Then you can add.
Well, I'll just say, I bought the program, I think in 2019. I think I watched every video that you guys had produced, but I went to a live event in Arizona, and I still just had a hard time dedicating time to the land business outside of my job and being a dad and everything else. And that's when Sarah got involved. Everything just totally changed. And we had a goal to send out mailers before we went to the Maximizer event. And now, we're sending these mailers out, and we're having people respond to our mail, and we're getting questions that we don't know the answers for. And I will say the Facebook group is amazing, and you can get a lot of answers there, but the coaching, you get answers quickly, way quicker, and they're way more directed specifically to the deal that you're working on and your needs. And Sarah's been amazing, and she kept coming to me with questions that I couldn't remember from all the videos that I watched. And so we go to the Facebook group, and we got on a few calls. I can't remember. You guys were doing a land profit lab, and finally we were like, coach, we need a coach. We need help. We have more questions than we have answers, and we need help. So that's ultimately, I think, kind of what got us there. I don't know if you.
I think you will never. It is never a bad investment to look to someone that has done what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's always a good investment. You will always you'll get more than what you invested. Yeah. And then I also really strongly believe in the power of masterminding and collaborating. And that's what the coaching program does. Like, it's incredible. The support is incredible and then just everything that has been added since we started to, the weekly calls, from different coaches. Yeah. It's amazing. So again, if you're going, if you have a goal, you need to find someone that has done that, and you need to be buddy, and that's what the coaching program does. It's incredible. So, and it's a tax deduction, so it's a win-win.
There you go. It is. Yes, it's educational costs. So yeah, it's educational expenses. So let's jump in a couple of, we haven't talked about that a whole lot so far. I would particularly like to talk into the 2 deals that you kind of haven't mentioned that much, which is you made $80,000 so far just in a few months right now, but you have also done 2 seller financing deals. And I want to highlight them, those, because they're beautiful examples of how a seller financing deal is supposed to be structured. You guys are perfect students on that. So walk us through the deal. For example, let's pick one of them. How much did you buy the deal? By the way, for everyone to know while you put the numbers together, is seller financing really means that you put the deal under contract for whatever you put under contract, and then you sell it with allowing the buyer to make a down payment and pay the rest in monthly payments. So it's really called installment sales, seller carryback, seller financing, term sales. It's all the same, different terminology for the same thing. We do a lot of our deals with seller financing, as we call it. So you guys are already starting to do seller financing deals, and you're doing it the right way, which is the way that you actually get more as a down payment from the buyer than you even paid for the property.
Yeah, there's one where you had mentioned that there's a $12,000 spread. And so if you could walk us through that one, that'd be great.
So we got a property under contract for $4,500. Our buyer put down, I think, $53,000 with a doc fee, again,
all the right fees, right?
takes care of all of that. Investment Dominator is incredible. I have, we have buyers that come and say, hey, what are the terms? I go in, give me a few minutes. I go in, I punch in the numbers, and magically it appears. It's awesome. Like, oh my gosh, it's incredible. So that's all done. So anyway, the buyer put down 53 and we cash flow just basically like 296.89 per month. And
how many years?
296.
What?
How much was it per month?
I can't read. Now I can't read.
Yes, I didn't hear it right. So 296, basically $300.
296 something.
Yeah. The pennies don't matter. So basically close to $300 for how many years?
So it is a 24-month contract,
and
we end up, it's like $12,000. We end up, and we didn't use a dime of our money, not a dime.
And that's the beautiful thing. So you combine seller financing with double closing with land flipping into a beautiful scenario where you got a property. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I hear this right. You got a property under contract for $45,500, including closing costs. Then you sold it for $5,300, and because the down payment was higher than you paid for it, you were able to do a double closing. Or with double closing, right? Or did you pay the money and get the money back?
The buyer's deposit was $5,300.
The buyer's deposit. We sold it for just over 10.
Right. But in terms of, when you bought the property, did you pay the $4,500, or did the $4,500 come from the buyer? No money on the property. The buyer's money was used to pay the seller, pay the closing costs, pay you a little bit, a few $100s. And then you're now collecting $300. Basically, it's an infinite return for the next. It's $6,000 for the next, or actually $7,000 for the next over the next 24 months without any dumb money in the deal. Yep. Who would like to make $7,200 in the next couple of years without spending a dime, right? Who would like to get $300? I mean, most people's car payment is $300. Most people's electric bill is $300 or less. Yep. Most people's car insurance and gas bill is less than $300. I mean, you add 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those deals together, you got all your fixed costs covered.
Yeah, and buying us a new boat. That's what that's doing.
Yes. There you go. You guys like boarding and surfing and stuff like that. There you go. That pays for a new boat. The boat payment is usually not that much more, right?
Yeah,
depending on what boat you have, of course.
And that's the beauty of this is that one deal might not sound as sexy and as attractive, but like Jack just said, if you have 10, 20 deals at $300 a month, that's a $6,000 basically passive income, residual income.
$72,000 a year.
Exactly. Coming in every month, $72K a year. And a lot of people can replace an income with just that. You know what I mean? A job with just that. Yeah. So super, super excited to see you guys continue building those. In the beginning for us, we had to flip every single one of them for cash. Because we basically came to this with no money, no money to the deal, to land flipping, and then eventually we were like, okay, we can now afford to start turning on, our term sale cash machine in terms of passive income, and really build up that residual and build it to $70,000 worth of passive cash flow coming in every single month, where we could now go in 2009 and start allocating some of that cash, because our land is kind of our cash machine, and allocating some of that cash into other asset classes and really use land flipping as a gateway, not just to produce cash, but also produce passive income and transfer that income into much more long-term assets, which it gives you an opportunity to really create an entire wealth strategy with just using, land to fuel other investments and so on.
And that's what we continue to do to this day. That's what we're going to do. Land is our cash machine. Land flipping is our cash machine. Now
it's our first love.
It's our first love. Now that has turned into an asset empire of 8 figures that just brings in more cash flow. That cash flow is being turned into more cash flow. So really, land flipping is a tool, and it can also be your first love, right? But it's we met each other before, so it's our second love. But other than that, it's become our second love, our first love outside of each other, that feeds all the machine, that feeds all our the overall wealth generation, and it'll do the same thing. So
now
I want to share really quick. Oh, can I?
Go ahead, please.
So part of our story, it's interesting, and I had this really big, like, it's called a meetup. And I was working with women and we were meeting, but we had started playing Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game. I don't know if you guys have ever, anyway, so I realized how much fun. I hated Monopoly growing up, but I love the cash flow game. And so we were meeting once a month playing cash flow with, these groups of women from all different walks of, and professions. And it was great. It was beautiful. And again, the power of creating this residual income is incredible, because, and I love what you said, both of you, about it feeding, which it feeds the passion, right? I mean, hello, my passion is yoga and essential oils and working out, and right. And you take your passion with you. I cannot claim that quote. That is a Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs. Take your passion with you. Real estate has become a love because it is allowing us to, it's fueling a passion that's allowing us to do things that we've always wanted to do, but haven't known how to have the resources to do that. So it's incredible.
Beautiful way of putting it. Wonderful. Yes. Michelle, you wanted to think.
No, go ahead.
No, you had the next question, I think, that you wanted to ask.
I forgot.
You forgot. Okay. Well, then let's ask the question of what's now that you've been in coaching for like half a year. You're only halfway through, by the way, right? You only have like the first half covered in terms of like getting more deals done, building it up, and you have 8 deals with $80,000 right now. So that's fantastic. So what are the plans for the future? What's the goals other than the boat? I mean, the boat is the result of the goals, right? But what's the goal?
Sure.
Well, I definitely more mail, right? Send out more mail, get more deals. But then, like you mentioned, Jack, the long-term goal is for the land flipping business to feed other investments that are permanent cash flow, right? And that's the direction we're headed.
Okay.
That reminded me of my question.
And in order to get there, what's the number of profit deals that you're looking for?
I think I wrote it. For me, my big one is to bring him home so that he gets to work with me full time. So that's a big one for 2021. And we've set that. I mean, we want to, at this point, we're hitting, at the end of the year, we have a couple more that I think we might be able to close on. So we might hit a dozen in 2020. I want to triple that, at least triple that.
Yeah, that won't be a problem because you have, as you said, as you now automate things, which happens like starting like just around now, the second part of the coaching program, right. You automate and fine tune everything. Your ability to do more and larger deals multiplies with less time. And you end up spending less time than you even spent in the first 3 months in the program, making 10 times as much money or multiple times as much money. So that's
I want to share one of the things that our beautiful coach has. I mean, Warren's incredible. Sorry, what did I say?
Beautiful.
I did. Sorry, Warren.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Inside and out. He's wonderful.
He's awesome. So like. We'd been writing down, like having VAs and just not quite sure how to do that. And I mean, we now have a family member that we're blessing that needed to have a flexible job, to, working like Upwork. Upwork is amazing. And all of that came, we now have there's four at sometimes 5 different individuals that we're blessing, right, financially by hiring them. And it's also allowing us to focus on the things that we like to do in the business, right? And that's
things that we used to spend a lot of time doing.
Oh my
gosh,
our
first list, Sarah sorted that and edited that herself.
I data mined, you guys, that was hard.
That's a 5-minute email now.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, nobody should really do that themselves. Like, we have resources for that in the coaching program.
Sometimes you got to let things the hard way.
$20-30, they do that for you. But I applaud you for it, because therefore you have done every step in the process yourself, and therefore you know how to outsource it even easier. Like,
learn from us. I will not do that.
Yeah, because outsourcing and delegating too soon can also backfire depending on your capabilities and ability to really manage, now the outside help that is coming in and keeping them, still productive, KPI oriented, metric oriented, and if you don't know how to do that, if you've never done it, outsourcing too soon could be not the right thing for you. So I totally
coaching is huge, again, because these are people that have done that, and so they know what's too soon, what's not. That's again another applaud for the coaching program, because it's
all right. So with that said, guys, since you mentioned it right now, I just want to let everyone know watching this, or even watching this now on the replay, make sure you register with us. You go to landcoaching.com, book a call, right, or call our team directly.
Let us know if you're in. I'm in here. You can just type I'm in if you're watching this or in a replay.
But put it in the comments. I'm in. If you want to talk to us, which basically means to our team that first of all that you're interested, that you want to talk to us about it, and then also that the bonuses that are being given today, that we still honor them, even if it perhaps takes until tomorrow, because yesterday our team was completely swamped with phone calls. We had a couple of people saying like, hey, I just got the call scheduled. What happened? It's like they were just so overwhelmed with interest and that they couldn't get to pretty much everyone. But today, I think they caught up, but there's a big wave that came this morning again. So we only have, I think 5 spots available right now. So make sure you call us at 602-712-0182, or very simply, you go over to landcoaching.com and register for it. Now, what is coaching? If this is the first session you look at, it's what Sarah and Tyson are doing here. It's what they're having. They're getting, you get one-on-one coaching with one of what we call our master coaches. You mentioned Warren. He's fantastic. We had a panel earlier today.
These are actual investors doing walking the walk. Warren was able to retire within 14 to 18 months from his corporate job, and he was in technology. And so these are people that are doing the work, that are in the trenches.
Almost all our coaches went through our coaching program themselves. I think we only have one that didn't go through our coaching program, but he had experience before, and he just figured. But it took him a long time to figure to get us all going. But then but everyone else, literally almost every one of our coaches is a product of our own coaching program. Succeeded. Did as good as you guys, and then continued expanding their business, and then they came back to us as part-time coaches, and giving up some of their time to help others get to that same transformation that they have been able to go through. So we're absolutely loving. We have even students of coaches that coaches already now are coaches. So you know what I mean? So basically, we had one guy be the coach of this guy, and this guy now is the coach, and this guy's coach somebody else, and that guy's the coach, because our coaches are with us long term. Our coaches, they love it. They love the community.
They like the transformational.
They like the transformation that they can now create in their own in other people's lives. So this is available, the one-on-one coaching. Then there's group coaching every single day. We just started that a few months ago, and you guys, when you sign up, that wasn't even there yet. But how are you enjoying the daily group coaching sessions that are happening?
We love them. So I love that, from a day-to-day basis, we can look and say, okay, this is something that we need to be on for, this works for, we love the variety, and working with different coaches. It's awesome. It's really great.
And something else that you mentioned specifically with these daily coaching calls is, we are assigned a specific coach that we take our day-to-day questions to, but we have access to all of the coaches, right? Because what we found is that each coach, maybe has different strengths in different areas, because there is more than one way to run this business and be successful. And sometimes we have a question that is maybe better answered by somebody else, and our coach Warren finds those answers. He takes it to the group and says, all right, I've got this question, what's the best way, or how should we address this? And it's not you're getting a group of coaches, not just one.
Yeah. It's a brain trust.
Really. In our group of coaches, we have a chat box that we are on. Pretty much everyone is on there every day, and we and questions like that. But perhaps in the rare case a master coach has not seen a certain scenario, they'll throw it into the group. Another group of a total of 11, actually, but now 16 coaches that we'll have the answer. Right, Michelle and I are part of that group. We'll answer, but somebody will come up with the answer within minutes, and that allows that coach to bring that answer back to the students very, very quickly. Yeah, but then even as you said, we call these extra strengths and weaknesses, the strengths of these coaches, we call them superpowers. Like every one of our coaches has their own superpower. And so sometimes it happens that you're like, I'm really struggling with this kind of piece. And then your coach might say, you know what, you need a superpower call. You need a specialty call with that coach. And then we can schedule those. We can arrange those. And that happens when it's necessary. But then also you can see, oh, this coach is on there. You go on the session and you ask your question right there, because each session is always teaching and Q&A, right?
You have the opportunity to have a hot seat and say, I have this urgent, pressing matter, and now you don't have to wait a week to get an answer or for an email reply. You can just jump on a call and basically get a hot seat.
You have that question at 3 p.m. and at 4 p.m., a session happens. You jump on that session. 45 minutes in or 40 minutes in, you're like, Queen A time, hey, I got this specific scenario happening in my business, in my deal right now. And they're like, okay, here's what you do. Boom, 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 boom.
I love the role playing that they've already, also introduced. There's some role playing going on.
I don't know if you have attended those yet, but there's some role playing about selling and about what to say to a buyer, what to say to a seller, what to say to a title company, how to negotiate. And it's just a complete package. Plus, all of these are recorded. And then on top of it, we actually, something that I think you guys did that already, was like a few weeks of a quick start onboarding session, which you do as a small group, right? I actually did that, I think, for you guys. Yeah. And now we have coaches that do that over a 6-week period. You get the software that you already mentioned, the Investment Dominator. They get all of this to complete package. Plus, they get us a few bonuses. Right now, we're going to do, there's a discount that's still available today. There's also, prices are going to go up, guys. Like, if you're listening to this, prices are going to go up in January. So you want to lock in your spot right now. Yeah. And then we have a few extra bonus sessions like Mastering the Art of Assignments, the Marketplace Domination. Michelle is doing a yearly planning session. And that's obviously, you guys get access to that too. But these are one-time sessions. You gotta put in the words "I'm in," or book yourself a call on landcoaching.com in order to get going and get all this.
If you're thinking about it, and you're right now thinking, man, this is something that sounds attractive, but I'm not there yet. And what I want to say is that nobody makes decisions from where they're at right now. They make decisions from where they want to be. You make decisions from where you want to be. And for example, every time we think about growth for our lines of business, for our companies, we're like, okay, this is where we would like to be. This is the vision we have. What technology do we need? What corporate, what organizational chart do we need? What capabilities do we need to bring in? And so we make the decisions based on where we want to be, not where we are right now.
And you guys have done the exact same thing, right? You have done a deal already, and then you're like, great. Instead of saying, great, we're done this, you're like, now.
You tap into kind of like a millionaire mindset is what I always like to see or say that always sees opportunities ahead, that invests, when others divest, that is, like I said earlier, willing to make the decisions and commitments today for that vision of the future. And, if you're listening right now into this live stream, you can make real money with this business.
You can. This is the business that will allow you to bring your spouse home. Like, you guys are, how far are you away from bringing him home?
Maybe 2 quarters away.
Close. What?
Maybe to Q1 and Q2 of 2021.
That's so yeah, we're in the process of building. We just finished designing our home that we're going to be building, and it's so exciting. And we're starting that process, and 2021 is the year. And now we're committed. We're saying it live.
That's right. So, yeah.
I just want to share, like, I know it's a leap, right? But make that investment in yourselves. I love, one of my favorite books is called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And she talks about, like, early 1900s, this woman is well above her years, wisdom, and flourished in a time when women weren't necessarily maybe seen as equals. But she talks about that. She has so many stories, but she talks about just believing in that authentic person, that, like, Michelle, what you mentioned, believing in that authentic person, that person that we all know we want to be. It's
2.0.
Taking that leap to say, you know what, I believe in myself. And sometimes that can be, hard in situations, especially, when it's a big financial commitment. But living, knowing divine and right individuals and connections and people will be there for you. You gotta envision it, and then the manifesting starts. But you got to take the leap, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
And then it's our job, in the coaching program, to make sure that you leave no stone unturned to make those, a reality. So,
and that's what we excel at. We are obsessed with our customer experience. We're obsessed with our customer success. We're obsessed with making sure that we literally laid out. And so I looked at the market, looked at the real estate industry, looked at what other people are offering in different, like usually the house flippers.
We were like, how can we transform the industry?
We're like, why are people failing in coaching? Because in most coaching programs out there, 90% of people are failing, right? Like, why are people failing, and how can we make sure that we turn this entire thing around, that 90% of our students, really 100% of our students succeeding? The only ones that don't succeed is the ones that basically give up halfway through. But even those, we put things in place for that not to happen.
Human intervention.
Intervention. You have an accountability partner, right? You have an accountability coach that in your case doesn't need to check in with you guys anymore because you're doing well already. But that particularly checks in again and again and again. In your case, I think that's Jasmine, right? So we have you have that person that makes sure that you don't drop off. We don't want to have a case where somebody's like, oh, I haven't done anything for 6 weeks. No, that's not going to happen with us, because we're going to be following up with you to make sure that you do something, even if it's a little bit something, every single week, and you move forward to the goal. Now, if you're a go-getter, you don't need that. We just check in. You're good? You're good. Good. You go, right? But if you're slower, if you have a history of falling off the bandwagon, if you have a history of giving up, then this is the program that will solve that once and forever. Because we won't allow you to quit. We won't allow you to give up. We'll bring you there, right? We'll take you there. We'll take you to the finish line and teach you all these things.
And even if you don't have such a history, because we've had in our coaching program, people that have been very, very successful in other businesses, like Matt Walker, who sold his business, and he just understands, the power of collapsing time, of basically having someone that is walking you through landmines so that you don't have to do stupid mistakes, rookie mistakes, that even though you might be an experienced business owner, because it's a completely different industry or a completely different asset class, that you don't want to make unnecessarily and leave money on the table, for no reason, pretty much.
Right. So put in the comments, guys. Put in the comments if you're enjoying this. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a heck yes. Give us what do you think about the session right now? And then also let us know if you have booked your call. If you have booked your call, put in a thumbs up or say, yes, I booked my call, or that's all we want to talk about. But in the meantime, guys, we're so excited about your success. We're so excited about your success. We're so thankful, so grateful that you guys looked at this and says and dare to ask, what if it actually works, right? what if there's so many people out there that say like, well, that doesn't work. If it's too good to be true, it must be not true, right? So, and you guys looked at that and you saw the things that we talk about, that like one deal that I sometimes explain, it has a 2,500% return on investment. And people are, and you're like, that sounds ridiculous probably, but what if it is true? What if it actually works, right? Is that what you guys thought? Or walk us through the thought process of that. I'm sure you have had your doubts at the beginning.
Our doubts were quickly satisfied. Let's just say that. But I mean, like you mentioned, our first deal, we made almost $25,000, and every step of the process, right? From getting a list and mailing to that list, and you start getting calls in, and every time one of those steps works, we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, hey, it's working. It's working. Next thing you know, we have a contract. Hey, it's working. Hey, somebody's interested in our land. It's working. Hey, somebody signed our contract. It's working, right? So every step, you do the steps, and they just continue to work, and it's been amazing. And as far as coaching goes and having an accountability partner, you're absolutely right. We get off every one of our calls with action items that we are responsible for, and things that our coach is following up with our questions. I know every one of our calls, we have an email that we're sending saying, hey, these are the questions we have this week. These are the answers that we need. And our coach comes to the call ready to answer those questions so that we can go to work and apply it, instantly, right? So it's the information is so valuable, and it's definitely easier than I thought it would be. It's just putting in those steps and
speed and execution.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to just add, there are hard days. I am not going to lie. There are, with anything in life that is worthwhile doing, there is going to be work involved, and there are going to be days where you're like, I mean, we've had deals where we have been discouraged, or
accelerated learning. I call failure and those challenges.
Yes.
I'm like,
yes,
accelerated learning. And what happens is that people outside, I think, of coaching, they come, into these roadblocks, and it's very hard for them to basically recover from a challenging situation. And for us, it's about narrowing that gap with human intervention, in you being basically on the low, versus at the top of the hill, but in the valley. And how can you recover? And what's the learning in this? And how can we do this better? Or what can we still do right now to save this deal? You know what I mean? And there is no feeling sorry for yourself and being sulky for weeks or days. No, we're solving this today or tomorrow in the next live call or in the next opportunity where you have access to a team of warriors. That's why I always say that, our team is like a team of warriors fighting for your dreams, because that's how it sometimes feels.
That's how we are, and that's how our team is, and we're fighting for you. We're gonna make it happen for you, and life will never be the same as it is for you guys. Now, last word? What would you say to somebody who is looking at this and is like, what do I do?
Take action. Just follow the steps, right? I mean, it's that simple. If do something every day of the week, that to work towards implementing this in your daily life, and you'll see results. I mean, you can escalate those results as quickly or as slowly as you want to, but I mean, if it's just an hour or two a day, you'll see results if you're doing the steps.
Essentially what our program allows you to do. It allows you to actually slow down or accelerate. We can accommodate for those things, which is why it is.
It's scale that is perfect for you. You know what I mean? It's got to be scale that is perfect for you. And every family has, comes to this with a different background, with different goals. So totally. All
right. So good. Go ahead.
I just want us to say thank you, congratulations. I am popping the champagne for you guys. It's a party in the Bosch house today, yet again. We popped the champagne for Jeff yesterday. We're popping the champagne for you guys today, even if it was just with sparkling water.
We open
right? I mean, I'll tell you, we've been writing. I have a journal that I write gratitudes and needs for our business, and then I write dreams. And LPG Hall of Fame with Tyson is one of them that I have written for a year since I really got involved, you know, or a little over a year. So guess what? It's here. I don't have to write that one anymore.
Awesome.
I'm kind of sad. I mean, it's kind of a weird feeling. And now I'm like, okay, now we're adding another one. It's cool.
You are one of our Hall of Famers. We're super excited to have you here. So with that said, congratulations, guys. Thank you so much. Big congratulations, everyone. If everyone's watching here, please, everyone, go in and type in congratulations, guys. Let's have a big celebration for Sarah and Tyson here. And by the way, if you guys are on Facebook, right? You're in the group. So can people ask you directly? It's like, hey, did I pay you to say that or something like that? Which of course we have not. But,
they did not pay us, although we paid them.
Right. So,
and it's worth every penny. So do it.
So verify with them, check with them, right? So this is the thing. We have the beautiful thing about Facebook is that's full transparency. We can't bring somebody on and then afterwards you contact them and they're like, no, this is not right. No, you can contact them and you guys are okay with people contacting you and just check with them. Is it true? Like, is it really the way we said? Because it is. So we have nothing to hide. We just want to, guys, for all of you to get to success. You guys already are. We're super excited about you. With that said, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you, Jack and Michelle. It's awesome to talk to you and be with you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, and with that, guys, that concludes our today's Hall of Fame. As always, again, guys, right now, don't waste time. We got 5 spots left for coaching. Get in, put in the word. I'm in. Schedule a call on landcoaching.com. The year's almost to end.
Two big bonuses are going away today. You know, the $2,000 off is going away today. The transactional funding is going away today. So,
and I kind of, out of a spur of a moment this morning, threw in another one-on-one coaching call. Well, not another one, but I extended the one-on-one coaching call also to those who get on board today. So, guys, this is a huge bonus. If you coach with me, it's usually $100,000, and I don't even take any more students right now. So if you, obviously, our normal coaching program is not $100,000; it's way less than that. But if you, I currently have 6 students, and they're almost all graduated. They're all having deals. They're all flipping deals. They're all making money. They all
got their ROI.
They all got their ROI. But the thing is, so I'm particularly good at when you're in the middle of a deal to go meet with, to say, I want to use that one-on-one. I'll look at your deal. I'll restructure the deal. Tell you what to do. We have had people make $100,000 just from that one session going in and on a deal that they otherwise would have fallen apart. We were able to restructure it. The deal happened. They made $100,000 on there. We have lots of people make $18,000, $20,000, $25,000 through that one-on-one session. So you get one-on-one session with me if you're participating in that. And but make sure you gotta say I'm in. You gotta book your call today. And then with that said, we are done for the day. Again, congratulations to Tyson and Sarah.
Also,
we're super excited. And then tomorrow, remember, we have another session coming up tomorrow.
If you have missed also any of the sessions from yesterday or from this morning, you can go to the replay section or to unit section up on top of the group. Also, the banner shows you, what is happening. Tomorrow, what we have coming is a bonus Q&A. We have a ton of questions, that we were not able to answer during our live calls. We're having a dedicated, session just to answer your calls. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are here again for a Q&A session. And we have one more inductee as well into the Hall of Fame tomorrow afternoon. We have, yes, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to see these 2 amazing women, be inducted there as well. And if you have not reached out to your concierge, if you need help, if you have any questions regarding the content that we have, covered, they're here to workshop that content with you, and if anything that, that you heard from the coaches panel from the session yesterday, they're land flippers as well. They're doing land flipping every single day. I would say that a huge percentage of our team is doing this, and we are actually excited that they're doing this. many people would say, oh my gosh, you want to assemble a team. You don't want them to be doing what you're doing because they might eventually leave you. On the contrary, we want you guys to succeed. And so every single of the concierges is doing deals or is involved in deals in one shape or form because their family is in coaching, like Stephanie Seidler, her family is in coaching right now. And so
and they're doing great.
And they're doing amazing. They're doing
Is
fantastic.
in coaching. She already quit her job.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, contact your concierge. They're here to support you, to walk you, to answer any questions for you, to help you get started. If that's what, if we're a fit for you, we're not for everyone. What we can say is that our superpower is that we care more. And because we care more, you get implementation, execution, strategies, the superior knowledge, superior expertise, but we make that accessible to you because we care more. At the core of everything is that.
We care more, and as a result, we'll get you to the results. You need to just take that first step and register for a call or schedule a call, landcoaching.com, get on board, and we'll get you there. Right. With that said, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.